Hello all. In the last video, we spoke about Git branches. In this video, we will talk about merging concept. Like what is mean by a merge in a Git and how we should be doing it. We will talk about those things in this video. Okay. Let us consider a scenario. Let's say you have a repository and you have done 3 commits on your master branch. Okay. Now this is thoroughly tested by everyone and you push these changes to your production. Okay. Now, like when you push these changes, maybe a website is up and the end users are using it. Whatever the changes that are done here, like C0, C1, C2, and the latest commit is C2, right? So that is pushed to the production. And let us make an assumption also that master branch will have only the changes that are present on production. Okay. Now you have done 3 commits and you push these commits to master branch and this commit is pushed to production. So your production is live with your C2 commit. Now, there are lots of developers in the team, right? Let's say a developer D1, he is assigned a new feature, F1, to work on. Now, what he has to do? Can he come to master branch and make changes? No, he can't do it because master branch should contain only the changes that are there in production. Now, if developer keeps making changes to master branch because now he has designed feature 1 changes and then he has made code changes to few files and then he pushes it and then he has to test it. So it takes lot of time, and even for the changes he has done to be tested thoroughly takes time, and to like for the stabilization of that feature or of his changes it takes time, and so those changes can't be put it in the like he can't be put in the master branch, right? He can't directly make code changes in the master branch because master branch should contain only the changes that are present on production, because now there is an issue in production. Now what I can have to do is I can come to directly master branch and see what, like let's say there is an error coming in so and so file on production. Now I can directly come to master branch and see what is the code present at that line. If if developer works on the master branch, I don't know what code is present on the production and what changes developer D1 had made. Like we can check that anyway by going through the log, but it's not a good practice to do so. Okay, that's why you assume that master branch will have only the production ready changes, not any feature changes. Now, since a developer is assigned a feature 1, what he has to do is he can create a new branch out of master branch and then he can make changes there. So what he will do is, let's say he is working on some issue or a feature. Now what he can do is he can create another branch based out of master branch. So now he has created issue 53 branch, and that branch will be pointing to the latest commit on the master branch, because a branches can be like each except master branch, every other branch will have the parent branch, because directly you can't create a branches, right? You should be present on some branch and then only you can create another branch. Now I would be on master branch and then I create an issue 53 branch. So whatever the commit master is pointing to, issue 53 branch will also be pointing to C2. Okay. Now he has, like developer, what he has done is I created another branch. I'll work on the like I'll make changes only to that branch. I'll not disturb the master branch because master is related to the production. I don't disturb that. So what he has done is he has made few changes and then he has committed it on issue 53. Now the picture looks like this. So here if you see C0, C1, C2 are the commits that are present on the master, or even if you ignore the C0 and C1, C2 is the latest commit present on the master. Okay. Now since developer has pushed a new commit to issue 53, issue 53 will be pointing to a new commit, right? That is C3. So the same thing is shown here. Master is pointing to C2 and issue 53 is pointing to C3, and the C3 parent is C2 because the like currently C2 is the commit, and when he has done a new commit, this will become the child of the new commit. The same thing is replicated here. Okay. So now the developer has made a new commit, and then a C3 commit got created, and the issue 53 branch is pointing to the C3 commit. Now suddenly developer is working on the feature, but suddenly there is an issue in the production. Okay, now he has to fix it, because like he can't wait for the issue 53 changes to get merged, and he can't wait because production there is a critical issue and he has to fix that. Now what he has to do, can he create a branch from issue 53? Can he do that? No, because on production you have only master changes, so you have only commits till C2, and you can't create a branch out of commit C3, or you can't create a branch from issue 53. You should create a new branch from master, and then you should make the changes. Those you have to merge to master and then push to production. So the scenario would be like, now the developer, he is working on issue 53, right? He should stop working on issue 53 and then switch back to master branch, and from master branch you create a new hotfix branch, because he can't work on this branch, right? Because this is related to the new feature that the developer is working on, which is not yet ready. Okay, now what he will do is he switches back to the master branch, and then he creates a new branch, hotfix branch. When he creates a new branch, hotfix, right, what happens here is, so if you see here, the hotfix branch also will be pointing to this commit. Okay, because he's creating branch out of master, not out of issue 53. Okay, now what the developer does is, he will make the changes related to the issue. So to fix the issue, he makes a new commit. Okay, now that commit you will assume as C4. Okay, now if you see, hotfix branch initially it got created from C2. Now developer has pushed changes related to the issue, and that is in C4. Now your hotfix branch is pointing to C4. Okay, now this is thoroughly tested and this has to be deployed to the production immediately, right? So what he will do is, this C4 has to be merged into the C2, because basically what I told in the beginning is, whatever changes that are there on the master, these will get deployed to the production, right? Not the changes that are present on the hotfix. So what a developer has to do is, he should merge the changes that are present on the hotfix onto master. Merging means these changes are not present on master, right? You are actually putting the changes that are present on hotfix onto the master. This is called git merging. So to merge that, what you have to do is, you have to go to the branch master, because you have to merge the hotfix changes onto master. This is like this, right? So what you have to do is, you have to go to this master, the branch to which the arrow is pointing to, and then merge the hotfix branch onto the master branch. Okay, now if you see here, first you have to switch. Now you are on hotfix branch now, right? Now you should switch to master branch, and then you should merge the hotfix branch. When you merge the hotfix branch onto the master branch, what happens is, master branch will be pointing to the new commit C4. So which means basically master also will be pointing now to a new commit. Then on hotfix also is pointing to new commit. So the scenario looks like this: C0, C1, C2, and hotfix branch and the master branch both points to C4. And since master branch is pointing to the C4 commit, which has the issue fix of the issue, now like the deployment team will take this commit and then they deploy the change in the production and the issue gets resolved. Now since you have merged the changes that are present on the hotfix branch, you don't need this hotfix branch, you can delete it. Okay, so now the picture looks like this when you delete it: C0, C1, C2, C4, and the master branch is pointing to C4. Master branch is pointing to C4, and then like your issue 53 branch is still pointing to C3. Okay, that's how your picture looks. Now the issue in the production is fixed. Now what developer does is, okay, I have fixed the production issue, I'll go back and resume my the feature work. So what he will do is, he'll go to the issue 53, he'll switch back to the issue 53 branch, and then what he will do is, he does some more work and he makes few more code changes and he made a new commit. Like he'll make a new commit to issue 53 branch. Now the picture looks like this. Master branch is pointing to C4 and the developer has made a new commit. So your issue 53 is pointing to if C5. Okay. Now this is done, right? Now what happens is issue 53. Now the developer has completed coding all changes related to the feature and it is thoroughly tested. So he has to push those changes to the production. So to push changes to the production, first he has to merge changes onto master branch, because you can't deploy changes from any random branch onto the master production branch. There should be a way, like you should take only the changes that are present on the master to the production. So what happens now is, now you have to merge this C5 commit onto this C4 commit. Okay, so what happens here is, you switch back to, like what you have to do is you switch back to master branch. Okay, now I'll switch back to the master branch and then I'll merge issue 53. Okay, now what happens is, in the previous example, if you see the master branch, it just moved, like moved by one place to C4. But here if you see, it doesn't, like it don't happen. What happens here is, now your master is pointing to C4 commit and your issue 53 is pointing to C5 commit. Now when you are merging it, it can't directly move this pointer to C5 because uh, these got diverged. If you see the history, if you see the history of both commits, the parent is C2 here and this parent is C3. So the history got diverged. But if you see here in this scenario, here you are pointing master and the hotfix branch. You are merging the master and the hotfix branch. So if you see the hotfix branch parent, it is the current commit of the master. So directly it shifted by one place. But here if you see the master's parent, it is C2. But if you see the issue 55 parent, it is C3. Okay. Now, in this case, how merging happens is, this is called a three-way merging. Whatever we have done here is, it is a fast forward merge. Because in the fast forward merge, what happens is, you just shifts your pointer to the commit that is present on the hotfix branch. Apart from that, you don't do any extra work here. So this is called a fast forward merge, wherein you just shift your pointer by like just by one place. Okay, that's why this is called a fast forward merge. Now here in the three-way merge, what happens is, this is the master branch and this is the issue 53 branch, right? So it will take the latest commits of the branch tips. So what is the latest commit of master? C4. And what is the latest commit of the issue 53 branch? C5. And it will check what is the common ancestor of both branches. So for C4, C2 is the parent, and for C5, C3. And C3 is not present on master branch. And who is the parent of C3? C2. Okay. So C2 is the common ancestor. What happens during three-way merge is, it will take these three commits. One is the branch tips commits and the other one is the common ancestor. It will create a new snapshot from these three commits. Okay. And let's say it creates a new snapshot, and this snapshot parent would be C4 and C5. Okay, if you see the picture looks like this. Now what had happened is, it created a new pointer, like it created a new snapshot C6, and that is created from C4, C5 and the C2. Okay, if you see here, like if you see the C4 commit, its parent is just C2 commit, and if you see the C3 commit, its parent is just C2. And if you see the C5, its parent is C3. It has a single parent. But when you are doing a three-way merge, it will have two parents. Like for C6, C4 is one parent and C5 is one parent. So which says that there like merging had happened. Okay. This is how a three-way merge happens. And there would be merge conflicts also that happens during merging. So whatever things we have discussed till now, we will we will run create a new repository, and we will do all these things and see how it looks in really when you are working on a Git project. Now what I'll do is I'll create a new project. Okay, now I'll make a new directory, and since we are talking about Git merging, I'll create a new directory called Git merge. Now I'm switching back to Git merge. Okay, yeah, let me, yeah. So if you see here, there is nothing here. I'll initialize, since this is a normal Windows folder, I'll initialize it so that the folder Git tracks this folder, Git in it. Okay, ls. Now let's see the branch. So the default, like there is no branch that gets created, right? By default, the branch would be mastered. So what I'll do is, I'll create a new file. Okay, I'll create a new file called main one. This is main one file. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll create a main one file. Yeah, git merge, and this file would be main one, main zero. Okay, main zero. What I'll do is this is main zero. I'm just trying to replicate whatever we have discussed here. Like you have a master branch with 3 commits. So that what I'm doing is I'll create 3 files with like 1 commit each. So now if you see ls git like if you run git status, this is an untracked file because this is the newly tracked file, right? So what I'll do is I'll do git add, and then if you run the git status, this file had become a tracked file and it is in staging area. What I'll do is git commit minus m, like hyphen m. So I'll add the message added main 0.txt file. Okay, now if you see, if you run git log graph all, what you will see is you will see a single commit. What I'll do is I'll create 2 more commits. And if you run git branch here, I would be on, by default, I would be on main branch. Here itself, you can see your head is pointing to the main branch. What I'll do is I'll create 2 more files, main 1 and main 2. Okay, this is main 1.txt file. Now what I'll do is if I run git status, it will, like main one is untracked file, I'll move it to tracked file. Now if I run git status, it is in staging area. I'll commit it, git commit hyphen m added main1.txt file. Okay, if I run git log graph all, if you can see here, right, there are 2 commits that had happened. Now I'll add another commit. Main 0 is 1 commit and main 1 is 1 commit. Now I'll add another commit. This is main2.txt file. Main. So if you run git status, you have one untracked file. Okay. Now I'll add, by doing git add, I'll move this untracked file to staging area. Okay. Like when you do git add, it starts tracking the file and then it moves the file to the staging area. Now I'll commit it. Git commit hyphen m added main2.txt file. Okay, now if you run git log graph all, what happens is you have 2 commits. One is main 0 and the other one is main 1 and the other one is main 2. So you can see the same thing here. You have first commit, you have second commit, and then you have third commit, and your main branch is pointing to latest commit. Now what I'll do is, now the developer has to work on some issue 53, like some feature or some issue 53, right? I'll create a new branch. So what I'll do is I'll create git branch issue 53. Okay. Now if you do git branch, what happens is issue 53 got created, and let us run. Okay, issue 53 got created, but your head is still pointing to main. But you are still on main branch. A new branch got created, but you are still on main branch. So what I will do is, I will I will switch to issue 53 and makes a new commit on issue 53 branch. Okay. Now I switch to issue 53 branch. Okay. Now I'll run git branch. If you see here, now I'm on issue 53 branch, not on main branch. So what I'll do is I'll create a new commit. Okay. Control N. So what I'll do is, this is a C3 commit, right? I'll add, this is issue 3 file. Okay. So what I'll do is issue 3. So if I run git status, since I have added a new file, it initially it becomes an untracked file, right? Now let us make this tracked and move to the staging area using git add. And then if you see, let me commit this. Added issue, what I have added, issue 3.txt file. Okay, clear git log graph all. If you see, your main branch is pointing to C0 commit, C1 commit and C2 commit. But if you see here, your issue 53 is pointing to this issue 3. So here you can see the same thing, right? Your master branch is pointing only till C2. The same thing you can see here, your master branch or your main branch is pointing only till C2, only this commit. But your issue 53 is ahead of this by one commit. Okay. So the same thing you can see here. Now what I'll do is, now since now according to the slides, what had happened is, now an issue arises in production and the developer has to fix it. So what he has to do is, he has to create a new branch. But I'm still on issue 53 branch. I should not create a branch out of issue 53. I should create a new hotfix branch from main branch. So for that I should switch to main branch. Now if you run git branch, you're on main. Okay. I'll create a new branch called hotfix. Okay. Now let me run git branch. Though you have created hotfix branch, but you're still on main branch. What I'll do is, I'll switch back to hotfix branch. Okay. Switch to hotfix branch. Let me run git branch now. You're on hotfix. Okay. Now when you go to the slide, what developer has done is, he switches back to, he switches to hotfix branch and he makes a new change. Now I'll add another file called, this is a hotfix file. Now what happens is, like when you're in git status, I'll add git add. Now I'll commit it. What I'll do is, added hotfix.txt file. Here, when I run git log graph all, what happens here is, your hotfix branch now is pointing to a new commit and that commit is pointing to C2. Okay. But your issue 53 is pointing to this one, C3 commit. So you can see the same thing here. Your hotfix branch is pointing to a new commit and that commit's parent is this C2. Okay. Your hotfix branch is pointing to a new commit and its parent is C2. And your issue 53 branch is pointing to this C3 commit and its parent is C2. The same thing is seen here. Okay. Now if you see here, your issue 53 is pointing to this commit and this parent is, like, if you can go back, like you can go back like this, right? It is pointing to C2. Now you are done, fix, like you have done the changes and it is thoroughly tested. Let us merge the hotfix branch. So to, like, I have to merge hotfix changes onto main branch, right? If you do git branch, I'm on hotfix branch. To merge, what I have to do is, I have to go to the main branch and then I have to merge the changes. So for that, what I'll do is, I'll do switch git switch main. Okay. Now if I run git branch, I'm on main branch, not on hotfix branch. Now what I have to do is I have to merge the hotfix changes, right? Now I have to merge the hotfix changes. So what I'll do is I'll do this git merge. I have to give the branch name hotfix. So if you see here, fast forward, I was telling you, right, when you do the like fast forward means the merge whatever the branch you're merging. Now I'm merging the hotfix branch, right? Like the latest commit on hotfix branch parent is the latest commit of the master branch. So what I mean here is, before here hotfix branch latest commit is C4, right? And its parent is the latest commit of the master. If this is the scenario, you just have to switch the pointer, right? Now let us run git log graph so that it would be more clear. Okay. So if you see here, your main branch and the hotfix branch both are pointing to this commit. Okay. Both are pointing to this commit. Your main branch and this is pointing to this commit, and this commit's parent is C2. Okay. Now if you see this parent, like you have to go down by the lines. This is C2, this is C1, this is 0, and your issue 53 is pointing to this C3. The same thing is seen here. Your main and the hotfix is pointing to the new commit, and your issue 53 is pointing to the this commit. Okay. The same thing is seen here. So the head is main. Now, since the hotfix changes are merged, you don't need this hotfix branch, right? You can delete it. Git branch minus the hotfix. Okay, deleted the branch. Now, when you run git log graph all, you have only main branch, and that's commit is this hotfix file, and its parent is C2, C1, C0. Okay. Yeah. Now the developer has fixed the hotfix issue and it is merged to the production. Now he resumes his work. So he goes back to the issues 53. If I run git branch, you are on main branch. He should go to the issue 53 and he should start working on his feature. Now I'll do git switch, because the branch is already created. Git switch issue 53. Like if I run git branch, what happens here is, now he is on issue 53. What I'll do is I'll create another commit on issue 53, like on issue 53. This is the second commit of issue 53 branch. So what I'll do is issue 3, right? Maybe issue 4. So if I run git status, what happens is this file is not tracked. I'll make it tracked and then I'll move to the staging area. Git add. If I run git status now, what happens is it moves to the staging area. It moves to the staging area, and you have to commit it. Git commit -m. What I have to do here? Added issue 4.txt file. Now, if I run git log graph all, what happens here is your issue 53 is pointing to this issue 4, right? Now, if you see here, what has happened is your issue 53 is pointing to the C5 and its parent is C3 and its parent is C2. So the same thing here you can, this is the C5 commit, okay? And this is C3 commit. Like you have added issue 4.txt, issue.txt. Now this commit is pointing to C2, C1, C0. Now if I run, if you keep entering, yeah, this is the end. So what happens is, you can just compare this as a C5, and the C5's parent is C3 and C3 parent is C2, C1, C0. And if you see the main branch commit is this one. Okay, main branch commit is C4 and C4 is pointing to C2. So your main branch commit is this hotfix one, and its parent is, if you go down by the lines, this is C2, this is C1, this is C0. Done, right? So now we are good. Now what we will do is, now, yeah, whatever the commit he has done, the commit has all the changes that are thoroughly tested, and now he has to merge it. He has to merge issue 53 branch changes onto the master. For that, what he has to do, now he is on issue 53 branch, right? He has to switch back to main branch. Now if I run git branch, He is on main. Now he has to merge it. He has to merge issue 53 branch because that feature is done and that feature changes has to be pushed to production. So here you don't see any fast forward here because this is not a fast forward merge, right? Because here it took the latest branch tips and then they took the common ancestor and created a new commit. Here you can clearly see that. Now let me run git log graph all. It is clearly shown that there is a new commit that got created, merge branch issue 53. You did not do this. When you run git merge command, git has done this for you. Because if you see, your main branch before was pointing to this hotfix, okay? And your issue 53 was pointing to this issue 4. So it took these tips and then it created new commit. So this new commit parent is, if you see, there are two parents for this, right? So this parent is one, this hotfix.txt, and another parent is this issue4.txt. So the same thing I was saying, it created a new commit whose parent is C4 and C5. The same thing we can see here. It created a new commit, merge branch, and its parents are hotfix, because if you go by like if you have to go like go one by one down. Here you have seen this is one commit and this is pointing to another commit. Now you are done, right? You have like it's created a new commit because this is a three-way merge. Okay. Now you are done. Let us like we already spoke about merge conflicts, right? Now you have merged it, it's created a new commit and then you merged it, right? Let us talk about merge conflicts, how it happens. Now since you have merged issue 53 branch also, right? You don't need it, you delete it. Okay. So merge conflicts arises when now you have done what you have done. You have created two branches, hotfix branch and issue 53 branch. First you merged hotfix branch onto merge branch. So that's what had happened here is, first you merged hotfix branch onto master branch and then you have merged issue 53 branch onto master branch, right? Now merge conflicts arises if two people works on the same file, or like in the same file, if a person is making the change at the same place, then merge conflicts arises. Now when you are working on the hotfix and when you are working on the issue 53, both files are different, because for issue 53 he has created issue 4 and issue 3 files and he pushed those changes. For hotfix, a developer has created a new hotfix file and he merged that. So nowhere issue 53 branch and the hotfix branch changes are common, because hotfix branch they created a new hotfix file, and for the issue 53 branch they created two files, issue 3 and the issue 4. Now what I'll do is I'll create hotfix branch and whatever we have done till now we'll do the same, but we will work on the same file. When I say we'll work on the same file, both the developer who is working on the issue 53 and the developer who is making changes for the hotfix branch both modify the same file and see what happens. Okay. Now what I'll do is, when you do ls, what happens is you will have hotfix issue 3, issue 4. Okay, done. And when you do git branch, how many branches you have? Now you're on main branch, right? Let us create you create hotfix branch and issue 53 branch again, and how we have done, but you modify the same file. So what I'll do is I'll create branch issue 53 and then I'll create branch hotfix as well, and I'll modify main 0 file. Okay, what I'll do is I'll modify git branch hotfix. Now if you see how many branches you have 3 branches, but you are still on main branch. Okay, now I'll switch to hotfix branch. Okay, now if you run git branch, you are on hotfix. So what I'll do is I'll modify main 0 file. Okay, in the main 0 file, what I'll do is added second line by hotfix. Okay, so here if you run git status, it is modified, but it is not yet moved to staging area, right? So what I'll do is I'll move it to staging area and then I'll commit it. Okay, git commit. -m modified main0.txt file by hotfix branch. Okay, now you're on hotfix branch, right? Now I'll merge this change onto main branch. I'll switch to main, and then if you run git branch, I'm on main branch, right? What I'll do is I'm on main branch, I'll merge git merge hotfix. Now it is a fast forward merge. Okay, that is fine because the commit is just, it's a parent commit, right? Now what I'll do is I'll switch to git switch issue 53. Okay, now I'll modify the same file main05. Okay, now what I'll do is added second line by issue 53 branch. So if you see here, you're modifying the same file and you're modifying the same line as well. Okay, when you do git status, you modified the file. Let us move to the staging area. It moved to staging area. Let us commit it. What you will do is modified main0.txt file by issue 53 branch. Okay, now I am on git issue 53. I'll switch to main branch, and then what I'll do is I'll try to merge the changes. Now if you see here git branch, you're on main branch. Now I'll merge issue 53. So you ended up in an issue because main branch already had this second line added. Okay, already had the second line added by the hotfix branch, and you're trying to modify the same line, second line, which is already present on main branch. So if you see here, this is how it looks, because there is a conflict, because git doesn't know there is already a second line and now you are adding another second line. Git doesn't know which line to put. Okay, or it doesn't know whether it should keep the already present line, or whether it should replace with the content that you have added now, or it should put both. Git doesn't know. You have to decide which line it should be there. That's why what git has done is this one was added by hotfix and this one was added by you, right? Because this change is already present on the main branch and now you are adding this one. So what git does is, you can see these lines, right? Whatever is present above, that is present on the main branch, and whatever is present below, that is present on issue 53. So here you can see, right? So what you have to do is, you check your branch name issue 53 and you check these lines. So whatever the content that is present between these arrow marks and this line are related to the issue 53. And here if you see head branch is nothing but the main branch now, right? Whatever content that is present between this branch name and lines is related to the main branch. So you have to decide. So sometimes what I'll feel like, I'll put both, or I'll add a new content as well. Maybe I don't need these two. Okay, ignoring merge conflicts, I'm adding this one. So I want this content. Okay, what you have to do is, when you do this, now you run git status. So if you see here, you have this unmerged path because you tried to merge issue 53 branch, but you could not merge because of the merge conflicts. Now that you have resolved your merge conflicts, what you can do is, you can do git add. When you run git status, you can see this is committed. Now what I'll do is fixed merge conflict. Okay, done, right? Now let us run git log graph all. So if you see here, your main branch latest commit is fixed merge conflict. Okay, and okay, now before to that, it is pointing to two commits, modified main0 by issue 53 and issue hotfix branch. Before to that, like first what had happened is, you have modified file by hotfix branch, so that commit is there, and then you have modified by issue 53. So since both resulted in the merge conflict, what you have done is, you have added, like you have made some change or you have fixed the merge conflict and that commit is present here. Okay, this is how you should resolve the merge conflicts. Basically you can see, right, there were arrow marks and the equal signs present. Whatever the changes that are present above equal signs, those are related to the branch we are on currently, and the changes that are below the equal sign are the changes related to the branch that we were merging. Okay, this is how you should resolve the merge conflicts. Okay, yeah, thank you, bye.